In the world of multi-tools, we have a famous brands or some newer brands that are a very good combination of quality and a good price. And then we have these. These are the cheapest multi-tools you can buy nowadays in AliExpress. This one is $2. So I'm a little bit fascinated because one, how do they manage to make this for $2, make a profit? So it's a bit of a exercise in supply chain, etc. I ordered this expecting it to be a total disappointment, but it isn't. This one is a little bit more expensive than this one, more like maybe $5-6. And essentially they have almost the same tool set. This one has a longer small flathead screwdriver, but the tools are approximately the same. They both will have a small blade, somewhat sharp. Then you have a multiple really small flathead screwdrivers. This one has one here and one here. This is almost like an eyeglass screwdriver. Then this is a bottle opener and flathead, which here is same function, but this one is a little smaller. Then you have these Phillips screwdrivers that are a bit rounded, so they work only for a fraction of the screws. Some of them may be a little hard to operate. Then sort of a nail file, which on the other side they have these kind of lines, which maybe it's for fingernails. I'm not sure, but there's this same pattern. Not exactly the same file shape, but pretty close. And then the plier heads, they vary a little. This one is smaller, this one is bigger. Even for this type, I bought another one that's exactly the same but in silver, and the plier head was slightly different. And I think they can accommodate variations in the pliers by using different washers here. So over time, sometimes they will start making them a little thinner, maybe to cost reduction. And these still, they can use the same platform, add a bit of different washers here, and use small pliers. So other differences: this one has steel springs, so it will get the tools firmly in place, which is good. These ones, they don't. They just have friction, so it is less secure, so to speak. Moreover, when they come, you kind of need to either adjust these pivots to make them to increase the friction a little bit. Sometimes that's not enough, so what I did in one of these is to add a very small washer, 0.3 millimeter, and that gave it enough friction, so this is usable. So this very cheap multi-tool also, my idea was to buy to basically take these pivots out and use them for something else. So you have four pivots and then 4 of these little screws. So I thought for $2 it's probably a good deal just for the pivots, because if you buy like a set of pivots for knives, it could be more than that. So that's my idea, but then I realized it's still a somewhat usable plier, similar to this one. Of course, they don't have the hardest materials or anything like that, but they're still useful. So So for a person that is maybe like a student or a young person that doesn't have a lot of spending power, this will get you a small multi-tool. You can do a lot of stuff. It's never gonna be as functional as some of the more advanced ones that have such all sorts of like really better steel, larger things, good scissors. So it's not a comparable product. This is a totally different category, but I use these ones a lot for like very light duty things. They are not as light as they could be. This one has a lot of metal, so usually the higher quality tools are much lighter for the size, and they will have the soft power pint will have larger pliers, so it's not that type of thing. But I'm impressed that still is not a disappointment. For $2 it's possible to make a somewhat useful multi-tool. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting. And another thing is, for doing modifications, taking it apart, these are a little bit ideal because maybe you can get a couple of these, take them apart. If something breaks, you don't worry too much. On the other hand, if you start buying lots of these cheap things, you end up with a lot of junk that takes space. So that's a bit of a problem. Another difference I didn't mention is these open in opposite sides. So these ones open this way and this one's open the other way. So what it means is when you have the tool closed, you can access let's say the blade without opening the whole thing, which some people like. So I don't know if I would recommend per se these things, but I find them interesting. First, to see how do people manage to build things on a very, very low budget. I'm surprised they work a lot for what they cost. And then also, source of parts, or how to practice modifications. I have a project where I will take the tools and put them on something else, so it could be also a source of these type of things. Anyway, thank you for listening, and see you next time.